Congratulations, you've made it to week 4 yoga for abs. Today we're going to do a real power yoga core busting flow. I'm Megan. I'll be taking you through the practice today. So when you're ready, hop on your mat. Let's get started. We're going to begin in child's pose today, taking it nice and slow just to warm up the body. So placing your head down, resting it onto the mat. Let the arms come down by your side. And just send the hips back towards the feet. Allowing yourself to take a few deep rounds of breath here. Just coming into the space, letting go of anything that's on the other side of the room for you. So that you can dedicate this time to your practice today. Just coming into the right headspace. We might need it. It's going to be pretty full on. No. It'll be fun. And take a couple more rounds of breath. And then use the hands, placing them underneath the shoulders to come all the way up. We'll swoop the chest through, coming down onto the tummy. Bringing the arms down by your sides. Take a nice big inhalation, pressing the feet down into the mat. And then as you exhale, lifting the chest up. Coming into Shalabhasana, locust pose. Opening up that chest, keeping the arms raised. If you're okay here, lift the legs as well. Just balancing in the center of the body, length from the crown of the head, right down to the toes of the feet. One more inhalation, and let's exhale, release. Let the head go either side of the mat, and a gentle rock of the hips, just to release that lower back. We'll bring the head back to center, and take that one again, nice big inhalation. And as you exhale, lifting the chest and arms, lifting the feet, and then extending the arms out in front. One long line, fingertips to the toes, looking for length rather than height of the limbs. Hanging in there. A couple more rounds of breath here. One more inhalation. And exhale, release. Let's press through the hands. Give the hips a nice send back to the feet. And we'll take a few hip rolls just to wake them up. Wake up the lower back. Bring the knees into our tabletop position. And we'll take a couple rounds of cat-cow. Just to loosen up the spine. Working with the breath. Inhale. And exhale. Push the mat away. Holding any position if you'd like to today. And let's tuck the back toes, lift the hips. Put the hands forward a little if you like. And come into our first downward facing dog. Pedal out the heels, make any adjustments. And then send those hips back. Keeping that little bend through the knees. And the heels coming down towards the mat. Nod, shake the head out. And we'll inhale, lift the right leg, coming to three-legged dog. Hug that knee right up into the chest, holding it there. You can come forward, send the weight over the wrists. And then exhale, release the leg, but keeping the body straight, sort of in a plank position. Inhale, draw the leg in. Exhale, release. Inhale, bring it out to the right elbow. Exhale, release. And into the opposite elbow. Exhale, release. One more into the center. And exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog. Exhale, release the right leg. Let's take it over to the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg. And then we'll come forward. The shoulders over the wrists. And bring that knee in to the chest. Send it back to plank. Inhale over to the side. Back behind you. Inhale, opposite elbow. Exhale, release. One more into the center. Inhale. And exhale. Send it back. Three-legged dog. And release. Full Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal out the heels. And let's come forward onto the knees. Dropping them all the way down. Walk the hands in. Just give the wrists a little bit of a roll to release them today. And take the arms back behind you, interlace the fingers. Let's open up the chest. Breathing some space into the heart. Just letting the heart rate settle. We've just jumped it up. Got it beating. Come back to the breath. And exhale, release. Give the shoulders a little roll. Maybe the neck as well. And we'll come back to our downward facing dog. Sending the hips back. And finding that shape. We'll float forward, coming into our full plank. And then dropping it down onto the elbows. Keeping the elbows underneath the shoulders and the heels extending away from you. Keeping one long line, crown of the head. Keeping that tummy firm. And just a rock side to side. Dipping each hip down to the mat. Couple more rounds. And then we'll push back. Bringing the feet in. Coming into our dolphin pose, keeping down on the elbows, planting the forearms, spreading the fingers. And a couple rounds of breath here. Sending the hips up towards the sky. And then bring the weight back onto the hands. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Let's take a nice big deep bend through the knees. And we'll jump all the way towards the top of the mat. As you inhale, coming to a halfway lift, hands to shins. And then inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, release. Take the hands to the hips. Let's send the right leg back. Just a small step. And then squaring the hips towards the front of the mat. You can take the hands into prayer position, right into the lower back, or just keep them on the hips. As you inhale, broaden the chest. And as you exhale, keeping just a really slight bend, slight micro bend through that front knee. We'll extend the body down. Keeping those hands pressed together into the lower back. And stretching out that hamstring, that front leg. If you're feeling okay here, you can release the arms. Let the head come in towards the knee. And as you next inhale, we'll come all the way up. Hands back to the hips, step forward, and we'll swap it over. Sending the left leg back, squaring the hips to the front, taking your option for the hands. And then as you exhale, folding forward over the front leg. Your option here to release the arms down to the mat. And let the head come in beside the knee. A few rounds of breath here. Just letting the hamstrings release. And as you next inhale, coming up, flat back, hands back to the hips, step forward. We'll stay forward at the top of the mat. Just make sure you've got some space out in front of you here as we go through a little flow today. So weight over into the left foot. As the right leg comes up, you can bring the sole of the foot into the thigh, or taking any option that you prefer, maybe on the lower leg for Vrksasana, our tree pose. Working on the balance here, choosing that focus point, maybe taking the arms up and opening out the shoulders. More inhalation. And bring the arms back to the hips. Bring that knee forward. And then we'll send that leg back behind us. Coming into Warrior 3. Slight micro bend through that supporting leg. And extending the heel, crown of the head. If you're okay here, you can bring the arms out in front. One long line, fingertips to the heel. For our Warrior 3 pose. Virabhadrasana 3. Taking a few bends, tiny bend through the supporting leg, and then extend, just pulsing here. And one more inhalation as you exhale, step back onto the leg, and we'll come up into Virabhadrasana 2. Just checking in with the alignment, knee above the heel, and the arms shoulder height. Taking your gaze out over the front arm for Warrior 2 pose. Couple rounds of breath here. And then let's come forward into our side angle pose. Elbow comes down, or you can release all the way down, pressing the arm into the lower leg, extending that top arm to the ceiling, and taking your gaze up beyond the fingertips. Your option here, if you'd like to take a bind today, you can take this top arm, bring it back behind you, and the lower arm meets, threading in front of the thigh, and then grasping hold of the hands behind you. See if you can slide that grip right down towards the buttocks, and then spiral the chest a little further up to the ceiling. We'll take a couple rounds of breath here. One more inhalation. Exhale, release the bind. And then we'll all meet back Virabhadrasana 2. We'll straighten the front leg. Just heel toe it in a little bit closer to you so not quite as wide. We'll keep the arms here and straightening that front leg just so there's a tiny micro bend as we reach forward, and then spiral the arms down for Trikonasana. Again, taking that gaze beyond the top hand. Bottom hand pressing into the lower leg, or if you need a block, you can pop it there. And spiraling the chest open, breathing some space. We'll take one more inhalation. Exhale, bring the gaze down. Come forward to a shorter Virabhadrasana 2. We'll flip the grip, opening up, Dancing Warrior. And then sending the arms, will spiral all the way down. Take the hands either side of that front foot for a high lunge. Staying up nice and tall on the fingertips. And then plant the hands, send the leg back through plank to downward facing dog. Inhale, and as you exhale, float forward through plank again, and we'll come all the way down nice and slow, Chaturanga. Nose, hips, and the tummy all meeting at the one time onto the mat. As you inhale, lifting the chest, coming up through Cobra, and releasing down, tuck the toes again, press the mat away through plank. We'll take downward facing dog, and a nice big bend through the knees to hop forward, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. We'll come to a halfway lift. And then inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, release. Let's do it all again on the other side. Here we go. So the weight over into the right leg. We'll take the left foot up, taking your version of Vrksasana today. Opening the knee out to the side, checking in with the balance. Hands come up through center and opening out. And releasing, exhale back to the hips. Keeping the weight over on that right side as you send the left foot back out behind you for Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3 pose. Your options here, pressing that heel away, arms down by your side, or maybe extending them out in front, one long line. Fingertips to the heel. And then pulsing here a couple times. Little bend through the knee, just strengthening that leg, supporting us. One more inhalation. And exhale, step back. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2 pose. Checking in with the alignment. And then coming down, taking our extended side angle pose. Maybe extending the bottom arm down, pressing into the lower leg. Taking the gaze up beyond that top hand. And maybe choosing to take your bind on this side, bringing the top hand back behind you, and then threading under, taking hold, monkey grip, and then sliding it down the buttocks, opening up the chest to the ceiling. Holding a few rounds of breath here, opening up the side body. One more inhalation. Exhale, release the bind, and we'll come back up through Virabhadrasana 2. Heel toe that leg in a little bit closer to you, but we'll keep the same alignment. And straightening that front leg, just keeping a little soft micro bend as you reach forward and then down for Trikonasana. The hands spreading away from each other, using your block if you'd like, and taking the gaze up beyond the top hand. Couple rounds of breath here. Really opening up into that side body. And then we'll inhale to come all the way up through Virabhadrasana 2. Flip the front hand. We'll take Dancing Warrior. Breathing some space into the front of the body. And exhale. Windmill the hands forward. We take a high lunge. Coming up onto the fingertips. And then pressing the hands down. Extending the leg back through plank. And taking the hips back, downward facing dog. Coming forward. Chaturanga. Nice and slowly down. Inhale to lift the chest. Up through Cobra. And exhale, release. Tuck the toes up through plank. And take downward facing dog. One more time. And then we'll take a bend through the knees. Walk the feet up towards the hands so they come underneath the hips. From here, we're going to take the feet right out to the edges of the mat and keep the toes out on a bit of an angle. We'll sit the hips down, coming into our yogi squat, bringing the elbows into the knees, helping them to open up the hips. If you're up here on the balls of the feet, that's fine. Hold in there. You can prop yourself up on a blanket or bolster or some blocks. And we'll take a couple rounds of breath, just opening up the hips. Maybe rock side to side. And then we're going to come into a crow pose. So imagining that you're coming up and over a rainbow, planting the hands, really spreading the fingers, the middle finger pointing forward, heel toe, the feet just in directly behind the hands, keeping about a handspan distance between them. And then bringing the weight forward, coming up onto the toes, bending through the elbows, keeping the elbows right locked in line with the shoulders, and taking the gaze forward as you come up, maybe holding here with the feet on the ground for your first time, and just seeing how that feels, maybe lifting one foot, place it down, lift the other foot, see how you go. You can always come back to the squat whenever you like, or if you want to try again, planting the hands down nice and wide, coming up onto the toes, rocking the weight forward, keeping that gaze right out in front and believing that you can do it. One foot lifts, maybe the other. Send the hips right up to the ceiling, holding here, and release. Yogi squat. Roll out the wrists. You can take this a couple times if you like, just having a play around. You can pause the video or repeat. Give it a few goes. We'll take one more. Here we go. This is the good one. Spread the hands, walk the feet in, coming up nice and tall, hugging the knees right in up to the armpits, and then coming up one foot and then the other, keeping that gaze forward. Exhale, release. Roll out the wrists. Well done. And we can sit back with the legs out in front. Bring the toes in towards you. Little bend through the knees. And we'll inhale, take the arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands to the outside of the legs, or if you're pretty flexy, to the outside edges of the feet. As you inhale, keeping the chest broad. And as you exhale, releasing down. Coming into Paschimottanasana. A forward fold. Just letting the breath start to slow and the heartbeat relaxing down. A little stretch for the backs of the legs. One more inhalation. And we'll come back to seating. Take the hands back behind you, about one handspan. And start to open up the chest, really shining it up towards the ceiling. You can take your option here, maybe planting the feet, taking a bend through the knee, and then lifting the hips, coming into a reverse plank. Or if you want to take a little further today, keep the legs extended and see how you go. Coming into the full plank, lifting the hips with the legs, the feet pressing down into the mat. You can let the head go. We'll keep looking down your body. Taking one more inhalation. And exhale, release all the way down. Bring the feet in towards each other. Taking the soles of the feet together. Hands to the toes. We'll come into Baddha Konasana. Just folding forward, nice and gently. Allowing the hips to open. Keeping the chest nice and broad. Letting the body start to soften again. Not working ourselves too hard today. Just enjoying the flow, enjoying building that heat, and then releasing. And we'll come back to the center. Plant the feet down. Move the fleshy part of the buttocks back behind you. And we'll take the arms out by your side, the palms facing up. Broadening that chest again, sitting up nice and tall, just leaning back slightly. We'll lift the left leg and then lift the right. Maybe option to stay here, balancing. Or if it's in your practice, extending the legs right up, flaunting the toes. If you're shaking, that's fine, I am too. Here we go. And then exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale. Let's hold it down here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. You can do it. Keep holding. Holding, holding, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release all the way down. Have a nice good stretch. Whew, well deserved. Hug the knees into the chest. A rock side to side. Maybe some circles on the ceiling. Releasing the lower back. Well done, everyone. Let's take a twist. Bringing the knees over to the right side. Letting the arms come out. T-shape or cactus, and just enjoying that twist through the spine. A few rounds of breath here. And then back, taking the legs through center and over to the other side, releasing through the back. Wringing out the spine, allowing that heat to leave the body. And then coming back up through center. We'll take our final pose, Shavasana. Laying down on the mat, legs out nice and wide, palms facing up. And allow the body to really melt. Soften down into the mat. integrating all that wonderful work that we've just done for the body. Feeling really proud of ourselves for making it through the 4 weeks. We've done really, really well. Slight smile on your face as you part the teeth and let the tongue soften. And try and stay here for around 5 minutes. Just enjoying this sense of achievement. Really, really well done. And then when you're ready, coming into a full body stretch from the fingertips to the toes, rolling over onto your favourite side and pressing to come up, keeping the gaze soft, taking your seated position and the hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me these last 4 weeks. I really hope you enjoy the series. I've got lots more coming up, so be sure to subscribe to my channel and give this page a like if you enjoyed. See you next time.